Hey there, friends and fellow reefers. This is a video about my display reef tank, 75 gallons, and all my livestock and everything I run on it. So let's jump on in. It also looks like our friend Mr. Finn the Dachshund will also be helping us and helping us with the video. Say hi, bud. Okay, so in this video we are going to go over livestock, corals, lighting, feeding, dosing, salt, the sump, and all the equipment I run on the sump. Here is a shot of the tank. And also the rack that it's on. This is my 75 gallon display tank. It's a Aqueon tank, I believe, and the first tank that I have drilled. So I got a drilled overflow over here. I'm gonna pop on the orange filter and see how that's looking. Alrighty. So as far as livestock, we can see up front, got a little firefish here, little dartfish. He actually is a replacement for the dartfish I lost 2 months ago, I think. He actually jumped, so that was a little bit sad, but I got a new firefish. I have 2 clowns. One is a frostbite and one is a snowflake. And I have had them for quite a while since I first got this 40 breeder down here, which is my quarantine tank. Also have a Bengai cardinal fish. And he is getting pretty sizable these days. And the rest of the livestock includes 3 mollies. They help with algae, and they have been full saltwater for maybe 2 years at this point. So, is there anyone I'm forgetting? Coral banded shrimp right over here. You can see him. So that concludes all the livestock in the tank currently. And now let's move on to corals. We'll start over here. And these are my Ganies. Gonioporas. Got this nice red pink one, and I'm seeing some new growth on it, which is nice. And then got this bright green. Also got little Caulerpa springing off of that rock back there. I used to keep it, I still do keep it in this tank, but when I moved rock from this guy and set this tank up, looks like some traveled with me and it just kind of pops up at random times. We got a Montecap up here, and when I fragged it, a little chunk broke off and I just glued it there, and that guy's getting a little wider. And this guy is fully encrusting onto this rock here. Got a Rasta zoanthid, and this is one of my oldest corals, and it has constantly battled green hair algae. You can see a little bit in between, but the zoas keep on keeping on, which is nice. Got some, these might be some watermelons, Whammon watermelons maybe, and also got some more zoas. These are a no name for me currently. If you know any of these zoas, let me know if you know how to classify them, what name they are. These are probably one of my favorite zoas right now. Real nice purple and green colors, and it really pops under the blue. Also got some green star polyp in the back. I got it on a little frag rock that attaches via magnets on the back. So that guy is hopefully going to grow all up the wall. Moving next to my hammers. Got kind of a orange gold hammer here. And then this is a green and purple hammer. And this one, the green and purple, has seen a lot of growth since I got it. Underneath you can see a lot of little new branches shooting out, new heads. And this is also one of my oldest zoas, one of the first corals I ever got, and it suffered some algae and I thought it was dead, and I left it down in this tank for a while, and it actually came back, and now it's up in the display tank, and I'm hoping get a couple more heads and the zoa really takes off, because it's got some really nice color once it gets going. Got a couple more zoas here. These are some nice orange ones, and I'm not sure on the name of these either, and starting to see a lot of growth around the side of the frag plug there, which is nice. Got a Recordia mushroom there, and some more zoas, and my candy canes. Got a bright green one and kind of an aqua blue, which I like. And then these are my newest zoas. Shot over here, they're on this nice little frag plug. I do know the names of these. We got some Utter Chaos. We got the Pink Diamonds. And the Purple Monsters, if it'll focus right. Oh, we'll get them over this way. Purple Monsters in the back. Little algae growing on the side, but that's okay. It kind of comes off with a little brushing. And I'm seeing some new growth, couple new heads popping up right under there on the Utter Chaos. These are just amazing under the blue light. Really pops. All these guys do, frankly. And then finally, if we go down here, we have, these are some clove polyps and the rainbow variety. So I do not think that this is going to be the final resting place for the clove polyps. I'm actually thinking that I'm going to move them over to this rock back here. I was thinking I kind of wanted some pulsing xenia, but I haven't been able to find any recently, and I'm getting pretty content with the amount of corals, and I want to just let everything grow out and encrust on. And I really like when corals are big and impressive, and you don't have a million corals just all in one place, and you really have some impressive singular specimens of coral, and it just, you know, it's huge. So I might wait on the pulsing xenia, but I got a lot of flow over here with the gonnies, and so the clove polyps might go over on that rock over there. Moving on to the lighting on the tank. Currently I am running 2 AI Hydra 32s, and I really enjoy them. They give me the shimmer I want. With the color control I feel like you can get from other top tier brands. So you kind of get a little of the shimmer, kind of like the Kessels, but then you also get really nice color in your corals, like some of the other top end lights. Yeah, see, these gonnies just pop under the lights right now. I have these AIs set to a similar schedule. If you look on YouTube, there's a guy who puts out videos by the name of Salty Pops, and I copied most of his lighting schedule. It kind of ramps up. The blues kind of go up in the morning, then they kind of come back down and allow for a nice like period of whites, and then it kind of goes heavy blue again, and then finally fades for the night. And he ran his for some AI primes. The Hydra's a little bit more powerful, so I don't run quite the intensity he does. And right now, it's last time I measured, I have a buddy with a par meter, and down here I was getting close to 100-ish on the sand bed, and then right in the middle I was upwards of like 150, 170s, and then we start climbing into close to 200s over the peaks. And so the more I get into Montes, Acroporas, I do have some space for some stuff that'll like some bright light a little bit at the top of the rocks. And I'll just drop video right here, and this is what it looks like as it goes through the daily runtime, as it ramps up and goes white for a bit, and back to the blues. Okay, so next topic I want to cover is feeding. What do I feed this tank? Mostly mysis, brine, and flake food. And we can actually go ahead and toss some food in. I made these lids here with some egg crate and some glass, but I think I'm gonna change it soon. So something a little bit better, and toss some food in here and watch everybody go, and we'll see everybody come out. Mr. Shrimp is he's getting a lot more comfortable in this tank. He was hiding a lot, but now he is out and about. And the clowns, they more or less run the show in the tank. They're pretty dominant, but kind of the quiet top dog is really the Ben guy. He really calls the shots. No one messes with him, and no one goes after the food that he's gonna go for. The clowns, they can bully everybody else, but not too bad, and there's enough hiding spots for everybody else. And I've got a couple rocks you can see back here. There's some more hiding spaces for everybody. So I kind of designed it to have a lot of platforms for different coral, but then also some hiding spots. And I kind of like arches with more like kind of boxy style, which these are, most of the stuff in here is the stacks by Two Little Fishies, and it really just does it for me. I really liked building with it and gluing it together and be able to create these structures. Next topic is dosing in salt, and I use the Red Sea Coral Pro salt, and it mixes up pretty well for me. This is my auto top off reservoir down here, just a 10-gallon tank that I fill up from my RO station, which is on the other side of the room. But for salt, I use the Red Sea. It mixes up pretty good. And then I dose with part A and part B. Just mix it up in some water bottles right here, which is soda ash and calcium chloride. And I'm usually adding from a mixture like 50 milliliters a day. And that keeps me in the range of 8.5 to 9 on the alkalinity. And for me, it's been pretty easy to keep it there. The tank is pretty stable these days. So next we want to talk about the sump. I got this light up here. Just shine some light down on the sump. Salinity, I run the tank currently at 1.025. Everything seems to be pretty happy at that level. The sump is plumbed with an E-Shops overflow. I think it's the medium. Does great for me. Comes down here, drops into, this is a 33-gallon long tank. I picked up on Facebook Marketplace, and I really like it. It's a nice size for a sump. And so got some filter socks in here. I cut this piece of acrylic, just got off Amazon, just cut a little chunk out of it, and it helps with you know, the salt creep, but also a lot of the evaporation. Got some live rock down there, 2 heaters. I run one of the Fluvols, which I really like it. It tells me the temperature right there. Then I got an Eheim over on that side. If I do want to run some carbon or anything, I'll just put it in a bag and then put it in a filter sock. That's kind of what I do. And I'm also running a Reef Octopus. I think this is we can see it right there, classic 150 INT, and it skims pretty good for me. Got a little refuge section over here, and got some Caulerpa prolifera, and this is really a recent addition because I have battled lots and lots of hair algae in this tank. I shouldn't say lots. There's people that battle it more than me for sure, but that's one of the biggest pitfall. I don't know pitfall, but the woes of the tank right now is the hair algae, and this is 4 days after water change. And what I do is I just suck up the sand, any sand that has, I could probably find a little bit of hair algae. There's a little bubble algae. It's somewhere around here. There's some back there, and it just grows on the sand, and I just suck out that sand, and then I wash it, rinse it, dry it out, and I've always got pretty much more sand ready to go after a water change. Here we go. Here's some that's washed and dried, and so that can kind of go on the top. So it's kind of just replacing that top level of sand. Just when it really accumulates all that algae, I just take it on out. So hopefully I got these lights on Amazon, and hopefully it's going to grow this Caulerpa. The Caulerpa grows like crazy in this tank, and these are just some Amazon LEDs up top as well. So I'm hoping this Caulerpa takes off. What else in the sump? Got some kind of like bio balls, ceramic, and got a lot of little pineapple sponges growing all over them, but they're just filter feeders. And then I run a CJ, I want to say it's a Syncra Silent 3, something like that. Cranks out, I think, 800-ish gallons per hour, but I have it ramped down just a little bit. I throttle it, and what this does is it shoots over here, goes up over here, and this is kind of, I have the valve all the way up here, and then it shoots all the way over to the corner of this tank. And then one thing I'll show you, I'm gonna pop the lids off real quick and we can get a top-down view, but I actually incorporated a little siphon hole, so I don't have to build in a siphon into my plumbing. So that's the gist of the sump. And then for the ATO, I'm using Reef breeders, and that's given me nothing but ease and success with auto top off. What else am I forgetting? Ooh, I really like these little switches. You can get them on Amazon, and I just put them on top of a power strip, And so what I can do is I touch this top one here, watch this skimmer. So we can just, so the skimmer is like that, and then this is for the return. So it's just kind of a manual system instead of your apex. And then this runs all of my power heads all to the same one. Just pop that off, all the power heads go, and we have silence and, well, not total silence because the pond over here is still got that waterfall going, but we have some silence and everything is slowed down. Okay, let's take a top-down view. Alrighty, here's a nice top-down view of the tank. Do a pan over without the orange lens, and then we'll pop that orange lens on and see what that looks like as well. I have also started dosing or adding for coral food the Aquaforest Zoa food, and currently doing dosing that about every 5 days or so. And while we're at it, I can go ahead and show off a couple of the other tanks. Got a green spotted puffer here, and he's a hungry boy, probably wanting another clam, but he's looking nice and fat today, and he had one yesterday, so he's not gonna stay hungry. He's probably not even that hungry, just wants attention. This is a 40-gallon breeder freshwater tank. The puffer tank up there is brackish, actually. So one thing, my cories have not been doing great lately. This guy is still alive, but he's looking awful translucent and just not doing so hot. But this is not a fish over here. That's a sack of snail eggs, which is good because Puff Boy, he needs some snails to keep his teeth nice and filed down. Down here, this is my 40 breeder quarantine for salts. Got 2 mollies in here, and not really anything else. And of course, we got the sump over here. Then we can jump over. This tank is very close to my desk, and I have a little Tomini tang, and I made a video when I first got him. So if you want, you can go check that one out as well. And he's getting some size on him. He likes eating algae, mysis, brine, and he's almost big enough to go in the 75 gallon display. This is a 20-gallon long with a simple hang on the back and plenty of Calerpa, and sand is looking pretty nice. As you can see, I kind of vacuumed that much of the sand. The whole tank did look like that last week, but with a water change, looking pretty good. Other tanks we got going on are the 300-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank tub, and we got some koi in here. Coming into springtime, and usually once a season I like to load them up on some salt. So they are on some water softener salts. I think the website Hanover Koi Farms, they have some really good information on salt and KH for pond water, and lots of good information on keeping koi. Got 5 koi in here and 1 goldfish, and they say give us food. They used to be super shy, and they are no longer shy. And my smaller tanks over here, guppies are doing good, breeding cool colors, and I don't have any betas right now. I lost my blue beta, which I had him for about 3 years, and I've had plenty betas come and go while I had him, and I don't know, it might be just done for the time being with betas and super small tanks, the nano tanks, if you will. I don't know, just my interest these days is a lot more on the saltwater side of things. So, got my freshwater quarantine over here, just some super baby guppies in here, super small baby guppies, and some snails in here, and I'm trying to get the snails to breed as well, so I can have snails for the puffer. And these are my water change cans, where I mix up my salt or even mix up my fresh before it goes into the tanks on water change day. Water change day for me in my fish room every 20 days. Every 20 days for saltwater right now and brackish, and then every 10 days for the freshwater tanks. And yeah, that is that's the fish room. This is the introductory video to the 75-gallon Reef. Total volume, we're looking at close to 100 gallons because the sump is 33. We're working with 75 right here. And my lids just go back on like so. And then fire up power heads, and these are just I might have mentioned earlier, just Amazon power heads, and they work wonderfully, and they're so cheap when they just get covered in algae. You just pop a new one in there. And so we got return, and then once it goes down a little bit, then I'll fire up the protein skimmer. So otherwise it'll kind of overflow since the sump is very backed up like that. Oh, and one thing. There we go. There is the little siphon hole, and that's when it'll break the siphon when it goes back like that when I shut it off. So I don't have to create one of those like back prevention valves in there, which, you know, save just a little money. Just a little hole in the PVC, and that's all I needed to do. So I think that covers it. Video turned out a little longer than I'd expected, but I think it covered everything. Thanks for watching. My name is Will Long, and this is a Long's Aquatics video. Subscribe for more updates, and hope you like the content. So until next time.